So before you go and pass harsh judgment on me for my newfound hobby, I guess you could call it, of hunting hunters, I think you should hear where I'm coming from on this, and I think you'll leave it feeling better knowing that what I'm doing is perfectly legit and okay. One of the things I like to do in my spare time is to read up on my ancestry, and looking at one of the branches of my family tree, I found a guy named Joseph Phillips. I think he was my great uncle on my mom's side. At any rate, what he would do is he'd take a potato, he'd shove a hook into it, and he'd leave it in the woods. And when a hunter would come along who was hungry, they would end up eating this, the hook would be in their mouth, he'd pull it tight, hook right through their face. And so when this happened, then he would take his gun and shoot the hunter through the chest. One shot, dead. So there's no suffering. Well, I mean, he told the story that way. It never really happened that way, but that was the goal at least. So at any rate, he would do this, and this is someone that generations ago was part of my family. And if there's anything I know about how the world works, is that if something's part of your heritage or part of your culture, it's okay to keep doing it no matter how awful that practice is. Like if you're Spanish, you can go around killing non-Catholics because, the Inquisition is part of your blood. Or if you're British, you can go around conquering foreign people and, making empires and forcing them to do cheap labor so that you have the raw materials you need. It's how the world works. And everyone accepts that it's okay just to keep doing, those sorts of things as long as it's part of your heritage. Just like the hunter and the fisher argue, oh, my family's done this for generations, and that's perfectly legit. Because the fact that they're, doing these awful things to animals is completely erased by the fact that it's part of their culture and heritage. So with this practice that I've adopted now of hunting hunters, it's completely on this solid foundation of it's part of my heritage. So I don't think anyone can judge me. But even if you're still not convinced, I want to promise you that we're using absolutely every piece of the hunter. We're making knives out of the bones. We're making clothing and shoes out of the skin. And we're eating whatever we can and feeding, to our animals whatever, isn't digestible by humans. So there's no waste. I mean, it's just clearly a solid practice that I think one would even argue is sustainable. So really, if you're gonna judge, glass houses, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, I just wanted to clarify that.